We have just lived through several decades of deepening globalization when most of the world was reaping a benefit from the end of the Cold War, the clash between the West and the Soviet Union. We're now living with a new Cold War, the clash between the Allies in the West and what's called sometimes the axis of ill will, Russia, China, Iran and North Korea, and that is intensifying. We're seeing that explode in actual wars, shooting wars, but we're also seeing rising trade wars, tech wars, cyber wars, and capital wars as well. So it's getting increasingly alarming, and it's hard to see peace breaking out anytime soon. In many ways right now, we are lurching back to where we were a century ago, where in the era before World War I, there was an explosion of globalization and open trading. Now, we're seeing an increasing rise of protectionism and all types of punitive measures introduced by different countries against each other that looks scarily similar to what happened in the 1930s. And the reality is, as the International Monetary Fund has said, that if this protectionism keeps deepening, if we have the global trading system breaking into two geopolitical blocks, we're going to cut global GDP by potentially up to 7%. And for many companies, they're having to reorientate their supply chains and brace for the worst case scenarios. The usual tagline is that fortune favors the bold. Right now, I think fortune favors the resilient, the nimble, the creative, the adaptive. The good news is that Ireland actually has shown in the last 20, 30 years that it has many of those qualities. The way it rebounded after the 2008 financial crisis and remade its economy, the way it has constantly adapted in the last few years is really impressive. But going forward, it's going to have to use its resilience and its agile adaptation to the max as it tries to deal with the fact that at the end of the day, it is going to be buffeted by some very nasty geopolitical headwinds.